You know who has to police the black community? You do. The community has to do it. We have to be community aware because the police, by design, will not police the black neighborhood.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
If we don't change it, Garrett, you gonna say something?
Yeah, so that thought process, because again, you know, I have to say it, I live in let's say the suburbs now, you know what I'm saying? I come from the hood, live in the suburbs now. I've seen black people lock the door on black people when they're walking to, you know, through the Kroger mall. I've seen where you feel like the neighborhood's quiet and nice, empty, then all of a sudden 4 black kids are on the street with their shirts off playing basketball on a basketball. And it's like, I see people be like, even our own people, the people I met, there goes the neighborhood. What do you think that is as far as for our own people to move into white society, I guess you could say, or a nice community and feel like, oh, the hood is coming in when you see, you know, us in our culture, the way we dress, the way we style ourselves, braided hair. Like, what is about us that we look at ourselves and be like, yeah, that's of lesser, or that's not of this white society of white rabbits and picket fences and, you know, chihuahuas?
Well, that's a lot. It's programming first, but the difference between a white neighborhood and a black neighborhood is policing, right? And here's what I mean. There's drug addicts and drug dealers in the white community. There's crimes being committed in the white community. You know why you don't see it as openly? Because the police actually do their job the right way. They patrol, they police the neighborhoods. You know what the government does or the mayor does for their city? He makes sure the cleanup crew comes in there and cleans up and spruces it up. Make sure that there's trees there. Make sure that everything, make sure it's not glass and broken bottles and anything like that.
We're going to fix them roads.
If the suburban neighborhood ever encountered any type of drug dealing type of activity, there would be a strong police force. You know who has to police the black community? You do. The community has to do it. We have to be community aware because the police, by design, will not police the black neighborhood. You know when they police the neighborhood? In Harlem, 125th Street, Harlem, man, I've been there teaching there since 2012. And when I first got there, man, the boy was black. I mean, it was the blackest of the black. And you would see how slowly police presence comes. And as the police presence comes, you see more white people come into the neighborhood. And then it becomes what they call gentrified. Why? Because now they've made Harlem safe for white people to live in. Now, do you not think that that same policing could come into the community and make it safe without white people living there? Yes, they could. But they have to make it that way so that they can gentrify it. So when we talk about the police will never do their job to make the neighborhood safe. So the reason why the black person has to lock the door when they see a black person, it's not that there's more criminal activity in the black neighborhood than the white neighborhood. But what the black person knows is that there is nobody to police that neighborhood like there is this community. As far as seeing 4 black kids playing basketball in the street, I don't know how old you are. That's how I came up. If we didn't have a rim, we would take a crate. And ain't it better to play basketball in the street than to sell drugs in the street?
See, but when you say like a crate, you know, when you're living in these high-end houses.
I'm using crate as an example for how I grew up.
But I'm saying, like, just imagine some black kids rigging up a crate, shirts off, out there hooping in the street where normally everybody's indoors quiet. Maybe you might see a white man walking his dog, white woman walking her dog.
You ain't never seen white kids outside?
And what I'm saying is that the black people don't fear that.
Black people don't fear what? White kids?
White kids outside shooting Nerf guns at each other. But when 4 black boys are outside playing basketball with their shirts off, again, my neighbors and stuff.
That's the stereotype.
Yeah, it's like the stereotype they're reading into. Like,
the stereotype that we're taught are black kids are dangerous, white kids are innocent. even though white kids shoot up schools, even though white kids kill.
I saw the little white boy with the gun, the cops having to,
The two white
the two
kids,
8-year-old, like 8 and 7. Yeah.
8 and 7.
Yeah, they were, man.
They did a full out standoff with the cops.
Man.
They alive. Live to see another day. Tamir Rice
pointed it right at him.
Yeah, pointed the gun at him. I did this show one time, man. This white woman walked into the police station, shot the police station up. They tased her. Tased her. It's the stereotype. Bill Cosby said in the 70s, and what's crazy, this is in the 70s, so because people like to make it seem like the term they use, YNs, right?
Yeah.
They try to make it seem like, well, the YNs deserve it because they acting like this, or the black people, that's all they do. In the 70s, Bill Cosby said, why is it when I read the New York paper, when a black person commits a crime, it says, this black man did this. But when a white person commits the same crime, it just says this man. Why is the emphasis on the media a black person doing something? Why? Because they want to put the stigma that we're criminals. You go further back when they was calling us gorillas and monkeys and said we didn't know nothing. We were unintelligent. We were stupid. The stigma that they put on black people has been the experiment since we've been in America. You're supposed to be slow, stupid, slow, can only be violent or have sex or be over-sexualized, drug addicts, convicts. That's all we are. But if you go back to that pocket in this experiment, within that experiment, that 50-year time frame where we didn't have those drugs, but we had our family structure, that's the threat. And that's why without reestablishing that family structure, we won't overcome that. I don't fault what they call the YNs. What do they call the women? If they call the young boys YNs, what do they call the women?
OBGYNs.
Like, I don't know what they call the young girls, but I don't fault. Like, we talk about like Sexxy Red, Glorrillas, and stuff like that, right? I don't condone the music that they do, right? I don't fault them because you can't blame the children for what's the parents' fault. Like, we can't blame Sexxy Red for wanting to get out of her impoverished hood by making music about my box pink, booty hole brown. Who's her parents? I ain't even just talking about her biological parents. I'm talking about the ones that were supposed to be in charge to teach her or create an environment where that type of music is not accepted. There's nobody that taught her that. There's nobody. I remember in a time of hip hop, used to have Queen Latifah, Who You Calling a Bitch, right along with a raunchy song. Like, Two Live Crew existed right when Public Enemy existed. Mm-hmm. But there was an avenue because music is subjective. It's not a monolith. So you're going to always have all types of music. But there was always a place that a woman could go or a young girl could go to learn piety, to learn how to actually be a woman. There was always a place that a brother could go to learn how to be a man. They always existed. And then now it's gone. And so we're going to fault every rapper. How do you fault the rapper? For all the people that condemn the rappers, I don't see them condemning the music, the UMG, the music groups that are making sure, because that would be that direct parent. The parent to that type of music is the record companies that do not push other music that gives an alternative. So you're going to take the person. So now here is two ways. So you're not going to give Sexxy Red or Meg Thee Stallion a opportunity that gets them out of that condition, but then you're going to get mad at them when they come up with their own plan to get out of that condition.
Yeah.
So again, I don't condone it. I call Sexxy Red a roach. Like, she's horrible. Yeah. The way that she conducts herself. Glorilla is on her way to looking like Lil' Kim. She done already had 2 jobs. She done already had a breast job and a nose job. So he's already on the Little Kim route or the Nicki Minaj route. But there is no mother or father that's showing these YNs anything different except like my organization, ISUBK. In my organization, I don't know them without my organization. Yeah. I don't come down. You don't even know me without this organization. Nobody knows me unless there was an organization that said we're going to put the mother and father back in the house. We're going to let a black man be a black man without the guilt. A mother be a mother without the guilt. To be able to be pro-black without feeling guilty. Like if I say I'm pro-black, a white person or a black person has to instinctively say, well, what about me? Well, what about you? You had a 400-year head start in America, and you fighting at me because I'm saying I'm pro-black. Like, you want every stitch of black power, black blood, black sweat. You want to own it. That's why Eminem had to win them damn AMA awards, man. That shit got on my goddamn nerves, man.
That shit's crazy.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move it. Hey.